Hey guys, it is your favorite comic book artist's favorite comic book artist. That's right, it's Jax, back again with another long overdue sketch card time lapse. This is, of course, Pyramid Head from the Silent Hill series. This was a commission in 2025, like the last quarter of 2025. This individual also commissioned The Nun and commissioned another card from the Silent Hill series that I'll do next, The Nurse. And so they wanted them watercolored, like a three-quarter body, and they wanted them slabbed up as well. So I was really excited to try doing this because I had, I think I've drawn The Nurse once. I have attempted drawing Pyramid Head. I don't remember if I was successful at it. And I had a lot of fun. Like, the lines themselves, yeah, they were fun to do, don't get me wrong, because it was a challenge putting three-quarters of a body onto a trading card size piece of artwork. But the real fun for me came from actually doing the colors and the watercolors, because I got to choose, the palette. And I know somebody might say, well, the palette in Silent Hill is like warm, but it's also very muted and it's got a lot of browns and everything. And that's true, but I don't typically paint with like a muted palette. So this was a little bit different, getting to add some of my own take on Pyramid Head, which I'm super excited that I got to do on this piece. I think I did all the inking with just the brush pen, which shows some of the control that I've really started to develop, being able to do some hatching and some, like fine line work with a brush pen. I've said it before that I have a really heavy hand, or at least I used to. Working with a brush pen and working digitally on a tablet has really helped with that heavy hand. So if you are an artist who has a heavy hand, I would suggest maybe practicing with a brush pen. It'll really help you like lighten your hand a lot. I know a lot of people who will, when they're inking, they'll like balance their pinky finger on their drawing hand so that they're not actually resting on the paper or on the image itself. I have not done that. So it's a little labored with things. And I guess not being left-handed doesn't really play into effect here, but it does when you're working in a sketchbook or on a sketch cover because you're working from the binding. So a lot of times you can just flip that over if it's your own personal sketchbook, or if it's a card, of course you can just rotate it around and get everything really good with that. You can see me setting up my paints, and here we go. Lots of browns, lots of oranges, some reds. Got to show off like the rust and like the really just muted palette. I've never played Silent Hill. I'm not much of a gamer, but these character designs are intense. Like, I really like them a lot. Pyramid Head, of course, is like super classic. Um, when I'm doing watercolor, I always keep paper towel close by. I always keep tissue or toilet paper close by as well, so that I can blot and kind of take off. As you saw when I blotted off the arms, because they were a little too dark when I put the colors on there. And once the paint settles in, which takes a few moments, it doesn't take long at all. Sometimes it's hard to thin out at that point. At least it's a little harder for me. So I tend to try to avoid that, and I have, the tissue paper right next to me so I can blot. And here you see me adding just more tones and more tones. The interesting thing about these cards is these are just regular bristles, so they're meant for ink. They're meant for maybe pastel. They're not really meant for watercolors, so I got to get myself some watercolor cards. So these do warp a little bit. However, you let them sit, you let them dry, and then you just let it go at that point is really the case. And then you can kind of bend it back, and it'll fit nicely into the slab. One of these days I got to do like a whole video from start to finish with a sketch card where I actually show like putting it in the slab as well, because I didn't do that with any of these, and I'd kind of like to show that part off as well, but it'd have to be like 2 videos that I thread together. But I'm just really, really happy with how he turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna let it just run, and hope to see you guys next time. Hope you're taking care of yourselves, taking care of each other in this crazy friggin' world. And like the rest of us, I hope you survive Silent Hill. Till next time, take care.